internet world, and welcome back. Today I'm reviewing the 7th generation of the Rolls Royce Phantom. I borrowed this vehicle from one of my viewers, Jon Kepler. You can follow Jon down here, right here on Instagram. The Rolls Royce Phantom is an Instagrammer's dream. It takes your social proof from about a 1 to a 10,000. And let me show you how. I don't like the way that looked. Okay, let's try that again. Can you see the rolls? Just make sure I can see the rolls right here. All right, perfect. All right, guys, just wanted to do a quick comment here. Me and my wife are here at the airport. We're gonna Bora Bora in about 2 hours, but I want to make a short, quick video before we took off. I'm here in my Rolls Royce, and I want to tell you guys that I started off with about 20 followers. A year later, I've got about 200 million. And I'm gonna show you guys step by step on how this is done. I'm a millionaire today, and 3 years ago, I had no money. I was dead broke. But guess what? 1, I got myself a Rolls Royce. 2, I got myself a computer. 3, I got myself a cell phone. 4, I got myself a ring light, because you know everybody needs a ring light to look their best. And 5, I got myself a woman. Click below, and I'm out. Let's go to the airport. And back to reality. I feel normal again. Now you must be wondering what year this Phantom is. And the best part is they made this car from 2003 all the way over to 2017. So you have no idea, except for they made some small changes called the Series 2 in 2012, where they changed these, they're not fog lights, but they changed these to rectangular. That's the only difference you can see from the front of this car. Yeah, there's some bumper sculpting, but nothing big. The car is virtually identical from 2003 all the way to 2017. You see, this vehicle was designed and developed by BMW, and BMW put Rolls-Royce back on the credibility map in the luxury segment. This car started at $300,000 US and goes all the way up to $600,000. And in today's world, that spread is huge. So no matter what your budget is, you can find a Rolls Royce to fit that, as long as it's over $75,000, which happens to be the cheapest one in North America. You see, customers can pick up to 44,000 different paint colors on this car. So Rolls Royce is basically a custom manufacturer. So you can pick any interior color and up to 44,000 paint colors. There are only 10,360 some odd cars of these built, but you can pick 44,000 paint colors. I think they just took the sample of all types of colors and said pick one, and then realized there's 44,000 of them, so you can pick any of those 44,000. You see, in its 15-year run, you could get a ton of variants. So Rolls made a whole bunch of special editions that they could market and sell very well to their buyer or to their sponsorship. So the car had a lot of sponsorship type sales, not your typical person that would come and buy, but a typical sort of event that was happening, and they'd build a car around that event, which was genius from a marketing perspective. This right here is called the Spirit of Ecstasy. This can fully retract if I'm trying to pull it, and there's also a button in the inside that I can press that'll retract this. When I lock the car, this goes inside. Something I've always wanted to do on Rolls Royce. Fingernail. Ding! All right, so as I get in the back of this Rolls, I am I'm definitely not 6 foot. I wish I was 6 foot, but I'm not. I'm 5'9", and right here, it feels a little bit tight, which is kind of weird to say. This is a huge car, but getting in it, I noticed that the back of my sill, the sill and the back of my calf, my pant is actually gonna hit the sill. So as I get in and out, unless I step here and jump out, when I first step in, I noticed that the seats are very soft, so I slip right off, and I gotta pivot back, and when I pivot in here, besides being the most comfortable car I've ever sat in, it's just not very head roomy. But sitting back here, it's the most comfortable thing. And it should be for this price. The other thing is my shoes. I really feel like I have to take my shoes off to sit in the back of this car. This rear carpet is so plush, I just want to show this to you guys. Like, it's like this thick. So when I step on it, I feel like, my shoes really need to come off. So when I first sat in this car in the back, I thought this is only a 2-seater and not a 3-seater until I saw where the seatbelt's hidden. So the seatbelt for the middle passenger sits all the way back here, like some 7-seater SUVs. It comes out, pulls down, has a little flap, comes down, and enters. It doesn't have your conventional seatbelt coming straight down here, and that probably spoils the look because there's only always 2 people in the back of this car, or 1. Another thing I noticed in the back here is these upper center consoles that have lighting that comes down is a different bulb color than the actual lighting in the footwells, which is generally amber, which is what this car is, but this has a sort of a greenish tone. That's totally different. A lot of reviewers I saw out there on the inside cabin, it's all black, but this color is way nicer than black. This really pulls into the luxury market more than a black car does. I find black hides the details, whereas this car just feels like sheepskin. There are 4 ocean handles here. We don't cuss on the internet, so we've got 4 ocean handles back here on both sides. So I guess because these seats are so slippery, you can hold one side and then you can hold the other side and you can slide back and forth like you're in the back of a crazy Sea-Doo ride. There are so many variants in the back of this car that you can have. You can have TVs, you can have footrests. In this specific case, this car does have a pull-out desk or an eating tray. This is a lot bigger than Spirit Airlines, guys. But the most important feature here is closing the doors. There's a small button in the back here, and as I press it, the door closes. Goodbye. On both back doors, there is an umbrella hidden in the door. Now, everybody knows this. You push the button, there's a nice Rolls Royce emblem on the back. This comes out, you pivot this upward, it opens it up, you pull this strap, sort of, and then you flail it around and you pull it right up. And this Teflon coated umbrella is for me. All right, so as I sit in the driver's side of this car, most people are gonna say, why are you sitting in the driver's side? You need to be sitting in the back. However, my viewers are gonna be buyers. They're not gonna be the ones sitting in the back. So let's get straight to the point. This car is really comfortable and delicate. All the switches are very soft to press. The seating position is super soft. A weird thing is if I want to close the door though, I can't grab it like I'm normally used to grabbing cars on the side here. I have to grab it from the top and pull back. Something different. The steering wheel is massive. And that's probably the polar opposite of what that Arteon I reviewed last week was, which was a really small steering wheel. This is a really big steering wheel. So when I take this thing out for a drive, I'll show you how the steering wheel feels in comparison to some of the sportier cars that I've driven. In terms of instrument cluster, some of the newer stuff has some of the newer tech, but this thing has everything you need. It's got the Phantom on the dash, it's got the big back seats, it's probably got the plushest ride I've ever driven, and it's got these sheepskin carpets. Everything's just really soft. In terms of visuals, it doesn't have an RPM meter, it's got a power reserve meter, so it shows you how much power you have left to use based on your throttle input. As far as dials, pretty simple. Off, low, medium, high for your HVAC. Hold on a second. There are 3 off, low, high, medium, max buttons. I'm not sure why. I guess there's a 3-zone climate control, myself, the console, and the passenger. Or maybe that's for the back. One cool thing about this is this dummy vent button. When I press this button, it retracts back and I get to see the display. So there are 2 glove boxes. The first glove box is the lower glove box. When I press this, this drops. And then the second glove box is hiding here. When I push it, this opens up. And there I have my controls for the Spirit of Ecstasy for it to go up and down, and then the automatic button there, as well as this for the trunk and the clock. All right, guys, super pumped to drive the Rolls Royce Phantom. First impressions are the seats are wider than my body can kind of absorb here. They are wide, they're firm, but everything else is soft and delicate. To put the windows down, really delicate. I was looking at where I could move my seat, and it's actually hiding right here. I push this panel down, and then voila, I have sort of a joystick that I can move back and forth, oh so delicately. And it's just really soft. The leather is soft, everything is soft, the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel is really skinny, and as I pull out here, there's only appears to be 3 gears, a reverse, neutral, and a drive. And I mean, there is probably paddles of sorts, but reverse neutral drive is what I got right in front of me. But the steering wheel is really, really soft to turn. I can use a little finger, just how I dreamed about, and I can turn the steering wheel very easily. In terms of the steering wheel itself, it's a very skinny steering wheel, and it's got this sort of reverse Mercedes-Benz sort of design on there, where you've got your V on the top and then your circular on the bottom, so it's obviously like a helicopter essentially, but I'm holding it like this, so it V's out. Sort of unusual a little bit, but also the other thing I noticed is on the side window here has little heating elements in it. Sort of some of the Range Rovers have that, but in the front. So in the front windows I've seen the Range Rover. This one doesn't appear to have any sort of heating in the front, window, but on the side windows they do, which I think is interesting. On both left and right, I don't see anything in the back window, but left and right definitely does have some heating elements there. As far as ride quality, man, this thing is definitely soft. It's soft, it's quiet, and this power reserve, so the power reserve basically replaces the RPM meter. So the RPMs, like most cars, basically anywhere from 1,000 all the way to 6,000 or 7,000. But this one's reversed. This one will always stay at 100% power ratio, so it'll always give you how much you're actually using, but at the same time how much you have left. So you've got to do some math. But I accelerated from 100 down to 40, and that was plenty of pep. All right, so as I'm sitting here, I got one thumbs up and another thumbs up. Wow, this is pretty amazing. Lots of thumbs uppers. All the controls are really, really easy to use. Oh, and when I put in reverse, that mirror folds down to accommodate me in a convenience fashion. It's got the convenience mirror just like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. Now the only negative I can give this car is when I'm taking turns, this leather is so soft, but it also doubles as really slippery. So as I go into a corner, I feel like I'm sliding a little bit, and I need some sort of contouring to sort of hold me together, especially for the driver. I think the passengers and the back seat, for sure, they can slip and slide. But in terms of the driver, I would like to be held a little bit more. Now, obviously, it's being fussy. This is a luxury car at its finest level, so it needs to be as soft as possible. But the seats sort of round out this way, so as I pivot over, I'm kind of sliding this way or sliding that way. So that's the only knock on the seats that I can give you. And other than that, so under the hood of this car, there's a 6.75 liter V12 that makes 454 horsepower and 531 foot-pounds of torque. The iDrive, which is potentially iDrive, the BMW system is right here. It's got the full drive, exactly how BMW had it back then. So there's a lot of BMW pieces sort of hidden in this car that BMW put together. In terms of overall quietness, there's not a lot of wind noise in this car, and obviously with the price point you expect it not to be. But there's enough noise that at least you kind of know what's going on. It's not ultra silent, it's very silent, but it's not ultra silent. You can still hear a little bit of road noise, slightly. Who am I lying? I can't hear a damn thing. This thing's just so smooth to turn. It's like buttery smooth to turn. I mean, you probably don't want any of the tech on because it'll sound like it's prehistoric, but otherwise, driving it is just beautiful. Here is the owner's manual. It is super thick, and it comes fully binded in this soft, super soft, look at this thing. It's beautiful. Now, if I ever want to know anything about anything, I just open this book up and I read it. CD changer, how to use a CD changer. Interesting. Thank you, Rolls Royce, for this beautiful book. So if you guys want to be part of that 1% club, and you truly want to be part of the 1% club, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Out of all you guys that have watched my videos, I've only got 1% of you to hit that subscribe button. So let's make an impact, and let's get you up to the 2% club. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and do whatever you can to show me support. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from the Rolls Royce.